so welcome back to the channel. As you've seen in my previous videos, I've been shooting a lot around the Glencoe area and it gets really busy. These places get photographed so many times. I've really enjoyed doing it, but I thought I just want to go and check some other places out for myself, which probably are not photographed so often. So I've come across from the bridge from Glencoe to North Ballacoolish, and I'm between North Ballacoolish and Fort William, and just there's a few little lay-bys to park in, so I've just picked one and I've just come over the edge and I've seen the light just coming across the landscape and it looks fantastic. So I'll just pan you around just to show you where I am. So just another one of the locks, and the reflections on that are just awesome, and it just keeps going and going and going. So you can probably see why I wanted to pull over and try and have some shots. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll get started and we'll see how we get on. So as I was setting up, the light was brilliant over the landscape. It's disappeared a little bit at the moment, but I'm hoping with these breaks in the clouds that the little pockets of sun will come through. So hopefully we get a little bit on these peaks and a little bit lower down as well, because having the light on the subject really does make it pop when you have your final image. Now, I didn't think I'd be getting conditions like this in December in Scotland. It is absolutely beautiful. I've just got a thin jacket on today. There's hardly a ripple on the water, and then just look at the sky and the landscape as well. It is really beautiful. One problem I tend to have sometimes is trying to get too much in an image. And when you've got views like that, you want to incorporate everything. But sometimes just picking certain elements can just tell a story of what's going on, or leave the person who's watching a little bit more intrigued to what could be going on. So I'll take a few wide shots, panos, and I'll try and then just pick out different bits of the landscape, just to different elements, to see how we get on. So I'm just going to go down to the water a little bit more, just to try and get a little bit more of a line going through, because it's getting a little bit cut off where I was. So hopefully this one might look a little bit better. Something I do when I'm taking my shots, so if I'm focus stacking and taking 1 or 2 shots, I always put my hand over, so that's the next series of shots done. And it's the same with panos. When you've done 7 or 8 shots, put your hand over the lens and take another shot. So when it comes into software, you've just got a black screen, and then you know that's the number of shots you've got in between each set. Because if not, looking through hundreds of shots, all slightly different, is almost impossible to work out. It's a real headache. So if something you can do just on location, when you exposure bracketing or focus stacking or doing your panos, at the end of each series, just put your hand over the lens, take another shot, and then you know that's all that selection. So that's something to remember, which I always forget to do, but it is something I'm trying to remember. It does make it a lot easier. So with the 6 stop on, I'm getting a 2-second exposure, f11, ISO 100, and the histogram is really level all the way through. It's not clipping in the shadows or in the highlights, so that's easy. I can just take I could probably get away with 2 stacked images, but to be on the safe side, I'll do 3. I'll do 1 in the foreground, 1 on the tree on the left, and then 1 on the hilltop. I've decided not to use a polarizer on this one because I want to leave those reflections in. I think it's great with the water mirroring what's above the water in the mountains and the clouds. So that's the reason I've not used a polarizer today. I have got the 6 stop on, trying to just smooth the water out a little bit. So I've watched so many videos on YouTube about Scotland, in Glencoe in particular, because I love it. And I always think you've got to be walking miles to get to these locations. But in actual fact, I'm only about 50 yards from the road. And that's the beauty of Scotland. You've just got epic scenery everywhere. Obviously, you can go into the mountains and the hills and have a bit more of a trek. But a lot of these shots that I've been taking are so easily accessible that it's a dream for a photographer. It really is. Absolutely love it. And even though there's a lot of photographers up here, I've seen many and loads of tourists, but it's so spread about that you can still lose yourself. So again, I've got this beautiful scenery all to myself today, and oh, it's just amazing. Absolutely love it. So what I'll do now is I'll just spin you around to give you a basic idea of the scene I'm getting with my camera. The lens is a little bit different because I'm on a crop sensor on the video, but you'll get some idea, and I'll point out. I'll just spin you around. If I can do it, I'll try not to make it too shaky. So there you go. So trying to get this shot here. Where are we? Yeah, we're coming around now. So that's basically the shot that I'm trying to get with my camera. I quite like this tree on the edge here. I don't know what it will look like in the final image, but I just thought it gives a bit of interest, and I was hoping that it would kind of lead you round to the peak. So I think what I'll do is I'll get my camera out of portrait mode and go for landscape, because seeing it through the video, it looks a little bit better like that, which is handy. So I'll do that. I've got the 10 stop on. It really is smoothing that water out. As I said, no polarizer, so the reflections are really vivid as well. And it just looks like glass, actually. I'm really pleased with these. I'd love a little bit of light just to come out on the peaks a little bit. And typical, I'm shooting this way, and the light is over the landscape that way. But I'm going to be patient because it will come across, because there's plenty of breaks in the cloud. But it's just beautiful to be out. Yeah, it's a lot better in landscape. I do tend to always look at both orientations, portrait and landscape, but for some reason I didn't today. I got a bit excited with the view, I think, and forgot what I was doing. So yeah, that looks really good, that does. Really like that. Yeah, I'm about 28 mil I am. I think I'm going to just go in a little bit more, actually. Yeah, that's nice, that is. And as I say, those reflections just look awesome. When you have got the option of taking reflections, it's good to try and get your horizon right smack bang in the middle, really, so you've got that symmetry. It looks really good like that. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Just smoothing these bits of water out, and the seaweed, as far as I can tell on the back of the camera, is looking really good as well. So loads of detail, foreground interest. That's what we're always going on about, isn't it? So yeah, that's really good. So I'll do 3 stacked images, as I say, for that one on the tree as well, out there. Trying to get everything in. Now, something that's really useful to do, which again is something I do forget to do sometimes, is, you know, on your camera strap you get a little like piece of rubber. I never knew what that was for when I got my very first camera, but that is to go over the viewfinder here, so when you're doing long exposures there's no light leakage. So it's a good thing. On mirrorless I think you can automatically do that, or it doesn't need to be done, but on DSLRs that's really good, so you're not letting extra light in and messing up your picture, basically. So something that you've probably seen in my videos. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. Luckily so far I've not had too many issues, but I think if there's direct sunlight behind you or real bright day, it will affect your images and they'll be useless, really. Yeah, so it's another good thing to remember on long exposure shots that you're taking. So there's finally a little bit of light just coming onto the landscape there. It's really fleeting. It's going quite quickly, but when it does look really good. So I'm hoping I've grabbed one of the shots at least with a bit of light just shining through. It just keeps teasing me, keeps coming across, then going. But I think I might have had a couple. Something I have been struggling with on this trip is that I love moody skies, but they've been that moody that they've just been completely grey and misty. So if I just turn the aperture down on this camera for a second, you should be able to see, there you go, see the clouds there. There's quite a lot we can play with all around there. Oh, and we've got a bit of light on the landscape. So the light is really trying to come across now, across the landscape. So I'm going to try and get some shots. Hopefully the light's still there as I pan across, because as quick as it come in, it's going again. So we'll see how we fare with that one. So I think I've got some all right shots there. The light didn't come through as much as I'd have liked it. It was typical. I was driving past and it just lit up the whole landscape, and it was phenomenal. But I've probably got a couple that I can show you. So what I'll do now is I'll pack up, we'll go to our next location. It's another lock, and it's another place that does get photographed, but not by the masses. So I'll take you down there, and hopefully we'll get the last of the light of the day. So I'll see you in a minute. So I was just packing up and the light has come out. So, oh, this is phenomenal now. I'll show you in a second. I've just got to grab these shots. The light really is coming out now. Oh, that's stunning. I mean, the pictures looked okay at the beginning, but they were still a little bit flat. But having that light on there is just, oh, this is great. This is, I've been waiting for this for days. Oh, this makes such a difference. The reflections, the detail on the side of the mountain, everything. Oh, it's working now. Absolutely phenomenal. Try and get some in portrait as well, so I don't miss this opportunity. So it looks like the light is coming down the lock. So I'm going to try and get that panel. I'll grab you and then just give you a little taster of what it looks like with the light on it. If I just pin you around now, just see that there, the light all coming in. I'll just turn you down a bit. Look at that. That is absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful. So I'm at my next location now. It's a shame really because the light is going, but I'll take you to have a look. I came a couple of days ago and typically I didn't have my camera with me. I did take a picture with my phone and I was really pleased with it. And it's not going to be replicated, I'm afraid, with this with my camera today. But I'll pan you around. What it is a little boathouse that's obviously seen better days that I thought would really be nice in the shot. But I'll just spin you around and show you where I am. There's a few different compositions I can do here. So you're going right up the lock that way, and then you've got, it's just fantastic everywhere you look. And then you obviously got this little pier down here that I might have some fun with. But then it's just this boathouse there. You can see that, which I'll try and see if I can get some shots of. And then the slipway going out. So we'll see how we can go with this. It's such a shame because I think the light has beaten me. So what I thought with this pier here, obviously quite an easy one. Straight out, nice with the waterfall, bit of cloud, put 10 stop on, still that water down, and then we'll have a go at the boathouse, which is just about here if you can see it, and try and get some separation. If I lift that up, get a bit of water behind. If you go too low, it just looks like it juts down, but I want to try and get some clearance of the water and of the headland going down, or the mountains going down. So I'll put you down, see if we get some shots. Hope you like them. I'm a bit rushed, so it's a bit of a speed round now. I'll see you in a bit. So that's it for my time today. The light has got me, as you can see, but it's been a cracking day trying to find some locations that aren't so popular with the tourists and other photographers. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.